Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, 6th, 7th, 8th grade students for the online program. I am Mrs. Gwynn. I am your counselor for the whole year. It's nice to kind of see you. I hope that you're enjoying your day. The sun is shining, the universe is moving in motion, and we are here to celebrate the fact that you are several weeks in to your school year and you're rocking it. You're doing a wonderful job. I am going to go over our slides with you for conferences that you will have with a parent, guardian, learning coach, whomever is your adult in your corner that is hopefully helping you along the way in this platform. You will get this slide sent to you via email. Your learning coach and or your family, parent, guardian, whomever it is that's supporting you will also get it. And from here, you'll rock it and have complete access to it where you will type in your name. Next page is resources for conferences. So if you haven't checked it out, the Westland-Wilsonville online program, academic program guide is your friend. It talks to you about how many classes you're required to take a quarter. Can anyone tell me how many? Wait, you can't answer. Dang it. Hopefully you're thinking it in your head. You're required to take 3 classes each quarter. How many quarters are there for the year? Anywho, check this out. It's a hyperlink. If you click on it, it'll take you to a new page. It's really helpful information because it also tells you what classes are offered for the following quarters. It's always available. It's open to you. It's open to your family. Check it out. These student-led conferences are going to be just that. You will work through these following slides with your learning coach and or parent or guardian. And the goal really is to just engage in a conversation. It shouldn't be scary. It shouldn't be intimidating. Everybody's at a different spot. We have some students who are way, way, way ahead. And we have some students who just this last week logged into a particular fuel ed class for the very first time. Everyone is at a different pace. As long as you get your work in by the end of the quarter and feel like you're enjoying the program, you're communicating with the adults in your corner, you're talking with your teachers, you're doing your very best. And if you find yourself stuck, you're asking for help in some sort of way, whether that's in a live session or through email, we want you to know that we support you the whole way. The fact that you showed up and the fact that you're here is very much worth celebrating. Welcome your learning coach to your conference. Maybe you're at the kitchen table. Maybe you go out to lunch. Maybe it's over a nice little cup of tea in the morning. Maybe you're just snuggling up somewhere and you're like, hey, here's my laptop. Let's do this together. Whatever works for you and whatever creates a comfortable zone for you and the learning coach or whatever adult you choose to go over your student-led conference with is an okay place to be. You're going to welcome them to your conference. That looks something like, hey, welcome to my conference, or hey, I got to do this conference. We are okay with however you want to invite and welcome your learning coach. The next pieces I'm going to go through with you, but that's what you will complete together. And it is a fillable slideshow. So you'll just open it up in Google Slides and start typing. You're going to do some self-assessments on how we feel. I'll give you some examples here in a hot second. And then you'll finish it up with some questions at the end with your learning coach and make a plan. Maybe you need to talk with your homeroom teacher, or maybe you need to talk with me, counselor. Maybe you need to talk with your learning specialist for your support. Whatever that looks like, we'll get there. Then at the end, you'll thank them. That looks something like this. Thanks. All right, student self-assessment. When you're in this particular slide, you will ask yourself, I have what I need in order to complete my assignments for all classes in a time that works with me. What does that really mean? Well, for example, if you find yourself in 3 classes versus 7 classes, your time in comparison to your classmate may look a little different in what it takes for you to get some of your assignments done. So find some space to maybe look at this ahead of time if you need to, and critically think, do I have what I need in order to complete my assignments? Do I have a computer? Do I need to maybe print some stuff? Am I realizing that, shoot, I maybe need a new lamp, or maybe I need extra snacks. Maybe I need a new water bottle. Whatever it is that you may need, this is a time for you to kind of think, how am I doing? And if you find yourself stuck, Think about maybe what was it that you needed when you used to go to school in a physical setting where there were other classmates. I know that when I was working at Westland High School before I was here in the online program, every morning I knew that I needed to be out in the halls waving and talking with kids. Maybe what you need in the online program is to weave in some breaks. I don't know. Check in. I am able to participate in live sessions and I feel comfortable doing that. Let's tease out the word comfortable, shall we? Some students don't turn their camera on. Some students don't feel comfortable talking in a live session. And I'm here to tell you that that's okay. Again, everybody's at a different level in their comfort, and that's totally fine. We just want to make sure that you and your learning coach are having a transparent conversation around what feels best for you. So check in. Next is I feel comfortable asking questions of my teachers and or learning coach, you, the person you'll be talking to, when I am confused or need help. As you can see, it's always, most of the time, sometimes, hardly ever, never. You don't necessarily have to make one of those bold or circle one of them, but you definitely need to kind of switch this around because it's really important. If you're not feeling comfortable asking questions and then you get to a test and you find that maybe you're missing some things or you submitted an assignment and maybe some of those points were off, I would imagine that getting comfortable asking for questions is going to be something that you and perhaps your learning coach, I'm always here to help. Also, your teachers are there to help. Let's figure out what you need in order to feel comfortable asking that. There's the chat feature. There's raising your hand in the class. There's also grade-specific academic tutor help sessions that are going to be offered and emailed to you within the next week that you can pop into if you have a certain question. And your teachers are always happy to communicate with you by email if that works. And if it doesn't, let's see if we can get something scheduled where we can meet for a few minutes and get your questions answered. So take time to think, do I have questions? Do I feel comfortable? And if not, what do I need in order to get there? 4 is I engage in healthy coping strategies and take breaks from my online learning when I need to. What? Did we just tell you to take a break? Heck yeah, we did. I know that looking at a screen with the same amount of time that you all are required to kind of at least engage in your online classes, I know that my eyes kind of start to hurt. And I know I'm kind of old, but the reality is that looking at a screen in school probably isn't the only time you're looking at a screen. Are you engaged in social media? Are you gaming out in the late night hours with all the lights off? All of those things contribute to your sense of engagement, sometimes motivation, sometimes sleep habits. We want you to take breaks. The sun has been awesome lately, but even when it's raining, puddle stomping is rad, and getting outside is really, really, really helpful for your body and just creating healthy habits. Please, if you haven't taken time to talk with your learning coach about how do I just get in a quick break, maybe a little stretch, maybe a little dance session with your favorite song or genre of music, do your thing, take a break. Go get a snack, go outside, get some fresh air, phone a friend, find a way. All right, so not every student is going to have the same amount of classes. So some of you may have language arts this quarter and some of you may not. I'm going to explain this slide and then I'm going to quickly trickle through the other ones because the reality is that this slide, language arts, and this slide, math, and this slide, science, are all the same. So how do you feel you're doing in this class? One way that you could really engage with your learning coach if you haven't already, or your parent, your guardian, or whomever is supporting you at home with school, is you could pull up your K-12 dashboard. You could check out your grades. You could say, where am I at and what's kind of my own self-assessment? As a middle schooler, you really do have an awesome opportunity to be transparent and honest with yourself about how you're doing and set that pace up for you, because in this online program, you are not getting docked points for turning in work after a designated due date. Is it absolutely important to build those learner habits and skills and do your very best and try to get your work in at the assigned and scheduled due date? Absolutely. It is so good to practice those habits. But we also get that every student is different. Every family looks different. Everybody's schedule is a little different, right? That's why we kind of chose the online program. So check in. Check out your classes. Do you feel in your own, heart of hearts, are you struggling? You doing okay? You good? Or is it great? Talk with your learning coach about what's going well. What areas do you need to improve? And then checking your current grade is optional because everybody's got a little bit different of a current grade when it comes to their class and how Fuel Ed and teacher is kind of communicating that. So do yourself a solid and just kind of go through the coursework. Same for social studies if you have it. Same for world language if you have it. And then related arts or electives, right? This is all the same. We added a couple more on these slides, but there may be some slides that you just don't finish because you don't have those classes, and that's okay. So for your checkout, we are asking your learning coach to ask you some questions, and we do kind of want you to answer. Whether that's a verbal answer, whether you want to write it out, whether you want to maybe do some charades, maybe play a little game, whatever it is, we want you to engage in a conversation that yields itself to some school-based chit-chat. How do you feel you're doing in the online program? You be the judge of how you feel about the online program. We are not going to judge you. Are you comfortably communicating with your teachers? And if so, are you comfortably communicating with your teachers if and when you have questions? And if not, how do we improve this? What's your favorite course and why? Is there anything you need from your teachers or specialists to be more successful? Do some of these sound like a repeat? Absolutely. Again, you're engaged in a conversation to just recap. Learning coach input. Now here's where we need your help in encouraging your learning coach, your parent or guardian, or whomever that adult is in your life that's supporting you at school to just say, which class should we prioritize in an effort to finish quarter one the way we want to? Maybe you answer that question, maybe you don't. Maybe you looked at all your classes and you're like, I am rocking it. Or maybe you're looking at your classes and you're thinking, you know what? I know that math has been an area where I just haven't fully been in love. No offense to the math teachers out there. But the reality is that sometimes students have a particular class that they're not super jazzed about, and that tends to be the class that they struggle in. Maybe it's because they're not really gelling with the material, or maybe it's because it's really, really, really hard. Perhaps that's where you talk about what you and your learning coach, your teachers, your support group, what do you need to do in order to finish quarter one in the way you want to? That takes some true self-check-in. Is there anything I can do to better support you as a student? Maybe there's something that you want to think about in between now and the time you sit down with your learning coach that they can help you with. I know that I've had a lot of conversations with students recently. By the way, if you ever want to chat with me, just shoot me an email. Little plug for counselor. But I've had a lot of conversations with students lately that actually they're expressing feeling really stressed by the amount of their learning coach's input with their classes. That's not to say the learning coach isn't doing an awesome job, but sometimes when we hear, did you do your homework? Did you get this done? Did you do that? Over and over and over, it can actually make us feel a little small and make us feel a little overwhelmed. If that is possibly happening in your life, you don't necessarily need to tell your classmates or me unless you want to, but it could be a really good time to say, you know what, I'm doing a pretty decent job and it might help me a little bit more and reduce some of my stress if you maybe only ask me that maybe once a day at this particular time, or maybe once every other day. Or maybe we sat down and we worked together and we built a schedule that is collaborative. It could be an opportunity. Sounds kind of spooky, but it's a really great way to start building those healthy transferences in communication. Lastly, do we want to schedule a 15-minute check-in with the homeroom teacher, counselor, learning specialist? Anybody? Hello? Are you out there? October 22nd and 23rd. Maybe you don't, and that's totally fine. But if you're feeling like you just maybe want somebody to check in with, and maybe your learning coach is looking at your grades and looking at your progress and thinking, might be a good idea and good time to just have a quick check-in just to say, hey, we got it, or hey, we got it, but we need some of this, or we don't got it, help us out, right? This is a really good time to make that schedule or schedule that time. That's it, friends. That's legitimately it. So do your thing, rock it, keep it in email, keep checking your email for this little plug, and do your best. Don't forget that you are amazing, that you are awesome. We are in the middle of a worldwide pandemic, and things are really wild all around us, and you are still showing up. People, adults, children, the world, human beings, we don't take enough time to celebrate the moment and the fact that we showed up. So thank you for being here. I am celebrating you every day, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Mrs. Gwynn, signing off. Enjoy. Have fun with this. It is not meant to be anything but fun.